Hello and hello to Chloe Chadwick.
Hello, how are we?
I'm okay, thank you. Thanks for joining me on tonight's show here on Johnson Sound. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good, apart from the terrible weather, but we're all good. Smiling, keep smiling.
So, what have you been up to lately, music-wise?
Yeah, to be honest, I've just been speaking to you, but yeah, having taken a little bit of time out of the music industry for one to kind of relocate, and for two to kind of deal with COVID and kick that up the bum and whatnot. It's kind of full steam ahead in 2023. I've been writing some new music, and I've been working on that in the studio the last kind of 6 months, and all is kind of ready, and I'm all prepared to give this music lark a go again.
So, how did your Dust Dust Bowl Jukebox album go?
Yeah, it went well, to be honest. It probably could have gone better because around the time that I released the album, which is my first album, it was released in 2017. I took it on tour and had some quite good success with it for the first kind of 6 months, and then kind of all hell broke loose a little bit in the personal life and a few problems here and there, as we all go through, I suppose, in life, which caused me to kind of relocate and move and make kind of big drastic changes and decisions in my own personal life, which kind of really had a bit of a knock-on effect on the album, which was a shame. But I suppose, there's now queer as life.
So, tell me more about Ratting Bones. How's that come about?
Rattling Bones was actually a song I wrote when I lived in the Northeast. I wrote it, God, must have been a good 15 years ago now, for any kind of fans from the Northeast that used to come and watch us and see us play. I was in a band called Chloe and the High Tides to start with, back in about 2011, 2012. And that song I wrote then, and we actually released that song as part of like a demo stroke EP with the band. So it kind of, the foundations of the song were there. Um, to cut a long story short, the band dismantled a couple of years later, and I went at it on my own under Chloe Chadwick. And never really, I kind of put the song away, as I did with many songs, and I wrote some new material, and that was the music that I chose to kind of bring out over the last kind of 6 years. So Rattling Bones was always in the background, and I suppose it wasn't until COVID hit that all of us musicians kind of all of a sudden had this spare time to be creative. And that time was when I started not only writing new music, but to dig out and dust off the cobwebs of perhaps some older material that hadn't materialized, if you like. And Rattling Bones was one of those songs that I listened to and thought, wow, this song's definitely got legs, and I'm gonna kind of rework it and reword it, and try and finish the song off. And I'm so glad I did, because I think it's one of the best songs I think I've done to date. So I'm really excited to kind of get it out there and hear what people have got to say about it.
So, how long have you been singing for?
Oh God, since I was a little baby, probably since I came out my mum's tummy and started to annoy the hell out of her for 15 years. Um, yeah, but I suppose professionally singing, I quite early on, really, I got a job with Thompson's Holidays as a rep, and that was, I just turned 18. I was one of the youngest reps to go out there, and I took my guitar with me, and it was the best thing I ever did, because I started singing in all the hotels and all the bars across Europe, and that's really how I kind of um, managed to gather my skills of being a performer and playing in front of people. So yeah, um, so since I was really 17, 18 years old, as early as I could, really, as early as I could have a drink.
Is there going to be a new album this year?
I'm not sure about new album. I don't know if my funds will will cover the costs of an album yet. But there's definitely more than a couple of singles being released this year, and I'm going to be releasing an EP to kind of test the waters, and see how we get on, I suppose, for the first 6 months. And hopefully, if all is successful and people like what I'm doing and people come and see me play and do shows, then yeah, of course, I'm not saying it's not on the cards for an album. So we'll see what happens.
So, when might the EP be out?
The EP is going to be out on the 17th of August alongside an EP launch, of which I'm going to be doing in Stoke-on-Trent, which is where I was born. I think there's now like a kind of home show to kick things off. So that's what I'll be doing.
So what's the date for that then? When's your EP releasing?
Thursday, the 17th of August.
Okay, so where's that taking place?
It's going to be taking place at a venue called the Artisan Tap in Stoke-on-Trent.
I take it that's a pub. I take it.
No, it's not. It's like It's like a cool cafe. They've started actually doing some really successful Americana nights there, and there's a few artists I see that are doing like a UK tour and are choosing to play at this venue. So in terms of kind of the exposure the venue's having at the minute, it's actually a kind of one to watch venue, I suppose, for Stoke-on-Trent. It's doing really well, and it's selling out some nights, and they're putting tickets on midweek, and they're promoting artists from around the UK as well as local. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good venue to showcase my new music, really.
So where can people buy tickets for your gig?
For the shows,
the shows, yeah.
Go on to my website on chloechadwick.com. They can go there. I'm on Bands in Town. If anyone chooses to, tickets on Bands in Town, the ticket links will be on my Spotify. And yeah, I would say mainly chloechadwick.com, but all my kind of social media links will all be linked up to tour dates, tickets, and shows, so they can find the information there.
So all the information will be on there soon, yeah?
Yes, yeah, the tickets should be announced in May for my EP launch gig at the Artisan Tap. So yeah, hopefully if people want to come and see me play, yeah, you're more than welcome to come down. It should be a good night.
It should be good. Can you introduce your new single, On Dancing Sound?
Of course I can. This is Chloe Chadwick, and this is my brand new single, Rattling Bones.
Okay, thank you for chatting to us today on Dancing Sound, Chloe.
Thanks very much, Ruben. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.